going on, you guys? It's your boy, Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking a look at WWE Mattel Elite Series 113. We have CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, Dragon Lee, and Carlito. For some reason, Elite 114 shipped before 113. And we just did a full review of Elite 114 on the channel. If you guys haven't watched it yet, go back and check it out. But now we have most of Elite 113. Trick Williams is not here. Ringside didn't send it, so I don't know if he's not in stock yet. So we do have these four. We will do one video with all four of these figures. We also did review Elite 113 Tiffany Stratton. For some reason, that figure shipped earlier than the rest of the figures in this wave. So a lot of weird distribution things going on here, but you know what? I'm excited to bring this video review for you guys. Very excited to take a look at the CM Punk, more so than a lot of these figures in the set. But let's pull each out and take a look at the figures in the packaging. So here's Carlito in the box, his first Elite figure, I believe, in the Mattel line. We did get a basic early on. He left WWE, and we did not get any other figures. There is actually a Chase version. The standard, I believe, is in the white. I think he's in purple in the Chase. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but you will see the box, your standard box for the Elites here. You got Elite Series 113 Carlito. It's crazy how far we've come. Elite 113 just sounds like a crazy number. But you can see how great the figure looks in the box. He comes with the interchangeable hands, the t-shirt, the big hair. He also does have an apple. I believe that apple's molded in the hand. That's a specific hand for Carlito, so it'll be nice to see. On the side of the box, you'll see the Carlito nameplate. The other side, you'll see the image of Carlito. On the back, you will have the other figures in the wave, as well as the little read-up. If you guys would like to take a look, you can pause and do so right now. We have Dragon Lee's first WWE Elite figure here. He looks great in this mask, the awesome entrance jacket. Again, standard box, you will see Elite Series 113 with the Dragon Lee nameplate. First time in the line, logo there as well. See Dragon Lee on the side. On the other side, the image, as well as the awesome image and the stats with a read-up here on the back if you guys would like to pause and take a look. We also have Kofi Kingston returning to the Elite line. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest New Day fan. We did just recently receive an Xavier Woods to go with this figure. It does have that kind of flower pattern design. Again, standard box, Elite Series 113 here, Kofi Kingston nameplate. Get the nameplate here on the side, as well as the image of Kofi. On the back, you'll see the awesome action shots, some stats. If you guys would like to pause and take a look at the read-up, you can do so. The figure I'm personally most excited for, as well, I'm sure a lot of you guys are. We have the Nexus leader, CM Punk, in his Macho Man tribute gear. We did see this as a basic early on in the Mattel line, but we are getting him now as an Elite. This looks awesome. Get the image of Punk, the series, and the nameplate here. On the side, you'll get the CM Punk nameplate, the image of Punk. On the back, the other figures in the wave, the awesome image of him as the Nexus leader. If you guys would like to pause and take a look at the read-up, you can do so right now. But enough chatting. Let's come back. We're going to get all these figures out of the package and see what they're all about. First up, we're taking a look at Kofi Kingston. So accessory-wise, he does come with a set of mic open holding hands. He does come with the more open palm hands on the figure itself. Also does come with this entrance vest. It is a plastic mold. You can see the hoodie here on the back, which we'll get a close-up. But let's start off by looking at this head sculpt, man. I don't know if it's just mine, but you see how the teeth or the gums are bleeding through the teeth. There's just a lot more red, sloppy paint applications here. I can see an okay likeness, but it's not the greatest. From the side, it looks a little better. You can see the sculpted beard here. You can see the nice kind of braids in his hair and the little ponytail in the back. So that looks pretty good as far as that. But like I said, something about the eyes and the teeth are just kind of thrown off for me. The vest itself does have the like flower pattern design with the green and the blues and the black. You can see it more so on the back here with that sculpted hood on it, which we will remove off the figure real quick for you guys so you can look at the torso and the other, you know, gear underneath, plus his tattoos. All right, so we got the vest off. If you guys want a quick look at it, you can take a look here. But the figure itself, you can see the torso, your standard Kofi torso. You can see the tattoo detailing. They look a little dark. I don't know, they just don't look like tattoos to me. They have like an kind of an ink look to it where it's just maybe too much black. But you can see the tattoos going down his back as well as on his shoulder here. But you can look at his actual tights, the nice blue with the black and green. That pattern does look pretty nice, very toyetic. He's got the pinless legs, noticing it that as well. But going down the figure, you'll see the blues. Take a look at the back here. Just looks really nice and clean. I feel like this figure will pop on your shelf if you're a big Kofi fan. But my favorite part, are these sneakers, man. I absolutely love the way this mold looks. It looks like a pair of like Jordan 1s. Looks pretty awesome. I definitely want to run through some articulation, but the shoes aesthetically just look really nice. A lot better than what we have been seeing with the earlier on Mattel figures. But the head will fully rotate. Goes up a little bit, down about that much. The arms do go fully around. There is in and out movement as well. The bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows, hands do rotate and hinge. The ab crunch, not loose, but not super tight either. There is a waist swivel here as well. I know some people had requested they would like to see both sides when I do articulation, so we will definitely do that. The leg kicks up about that much. This leg's a little tighter, has a little bit of that issue where it drops back, unfortunately. So I would think the splits may be a little tight, and they are. I don't know if this leg needs to be heated, because this one does not have that issue. So maybe it is not a QC thing, maybe it just has to be worked a little bit. And that is stiff. That feels like it's gonna snap. Oh, Jesus, look at that. I can't even get it back, dudes. Like, this has been the problem with Mattel figures, especially with QC. I feel like I'm gonna have to heat it. Look how dumb that looks. There is thigh cut. There is a double joint. The pinless legs have been getting better. They're usually tighter at the top part, but the bottom part seems to be a little looser. The sneakers do have a little calf rotation here. They hinge up and down. I will say they feel like want to pop out a little. You see how that joint kind of wants to move? Not the smoothest as far as going up and down here because it pulls at it, but does have slight rotation here. So unfortunately, the QC issues continue. Look at that leg. Moving right along to Dragon Lee. So he does have the open interchangeable hands with the finger tape on this. He also does have the mic open holding hands on the figure. He comes with this awesome entrance jacket. Looks very toyetic, and they actually pack the elbow pad here on the side, so it is not on the figure. I wonder if that just makes it a little harder to get on. But let's get a quick close-up. A look at the head. The mask sculpt looks pretty good. I always love these Lucha characters. You can see how the sculpting looks, the eyes coming through. He's got a little bit of that goatee. He's got this like kind of tassel piece attached to his mask, which kind of hangs over the jacket nicely. But looking at the coat, I appreciate the aesthetics of how these look, but they're just not fun on the figures. You can see that kind of like tassel design continuing on the sides here. The red with the gold pops really nicely. If you're going to keep them with the jacket displayed on your shelf, that would probably look pretty cool. Take a look at the back, so much white detailing. You got some gold silver studs painted here around it, so that is pretty awesome. More gold around the front of the jacket, but the true test is, how does he move? It isn't as stiff, you can see, but obviously you're not going to really be able to pose him too much with it. You can see how the rubber kind of like folds back, but let's see how hard it is to get it off of the figure. That is always the true test. I feel like a good tip, remove those hands. It will make life so much easier when removing the entrance gear, especially these rubber jackets off of figures. But I do appreciate how much softer it is, because earlier on the Mattel line, these used to be so freaking stiff. So here's a look at the jacket. Looks pretty good. Let's assemble him together. Let's put his hands back so we can go on with this figure review here for you guys. Alrighty, so better look at the head with the jacket off. You can see how nicely, even a little sculpt here, a little wrinkle on the mask. That looks pretty good, man. Again, take a look all around. You can see the blue detailing on this. This looks pretty nice and clean, man. I'm not the biggest Dragon Lee fan, but this figure looks pretty awesome. He does have, I believe it's the Sin Cara torso. You can see the sculpted arms here. I believe this is a new sculpted arm mold that we have been seeing on some figures lately. Has the white trunks, no detailing to that, white knee pads. But look at these boots, man. They kind of remind me like some Ultra Warrior-esque boots. Sculpted really nicely for Dragon Lee here. He does have the no laces here on the top. I believe there's nothing. It's actually one sculpted piece. This isn't a free floating piece. So that looks pretty nice. Let's run through articulation on this figure. Head, again, fully rotates. Looks down about that much, up about that much. Arms go fully around, in and out. Bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows move pretty well. Hands rotate and hinge. Your ab crunch, mine's a little loose. Waist swivel, not too bad. Here we go. The legs, man. This always worries me. A little stiff, but it doesn't seem to be as bad as Kofi, but you'll see there is, this left leg is actually a little better. The arm on this side is actually pretty good too. Thigh cut, double jointed legs. I believe they're pinned. They are pinned legs here, if you guys can see that. There is a boot cut here, which moves pretty well. The feet do hinge up and down. Again, this is all the new added articulation on these boot figures for Mattel, but this figure looks pretty good and actually articulates pretty awesome too. For some quick Dragon Lee comparisons, so I pulled out two random Rey Mysterios. I pulled out an Ultimate Edition and I also pulled out a Legends figure. You'll see Dragon Lee is significantly taller than the Elite. I believe Dragon Lee is about 5'7", and Rey Mysterio is 5'6", so that scaling seems to be a little off. Even with the Ultimate, Dragon Lee is taller than Rey Mysterio. So, I mean, if Google's wrong, they're saying he's 5'7". So, I think his scaling is a little off on this figure. Our next figure we're taking a look at is Carlito. So let's take a look at all the interchangeable hands. You do get a set of the mic open holding hands. You get 2 of these open hands. You can see the other one on the figure. But you also get this specially molded hand for him to hold the apple, which we will get to. But let's take a look at the actual shirt that comes with him. He does have a Carlito t-shirt. Again, there is a chase version to this. It will have the same t-shirt, just different color attire. You'll see the jacket does, or excuse me, the shirt does Velcro off. Just like a standard Mattel shirt. You'll see he kind of has that like medium-sized torso here. A little bit of schmutz here on his arm. Looks like that will come off. But you can see the torso. It looks pretty awesome. The head sculpt, I feel like, has a great likeness to Carlito. I really do like the look of it. The big hair, man. Look at that big afro. It looks pretty awesome, dude. Look at the back of it. Love the way this came out. Taking a look at his trunks, you can see they're just kind of white. Does have the bad apple here logo on the side. You can take a look at the other side, the Carlito logo. Again, nothing on the back. He does have these white knee pads, as well as the new boot mold. I will say, at one point, I was doing a review for one figure, and you see how much more articulation these boots get. It was like backwards, like, oh, did I get a QC defect? Because these feet did not move like this originally, right? Look how much more articulation. I will say mine seems a little loose on the foot articulation, but really do like aesthetically how they look. But let's get to the apple. You'll see this specially molded hand, and I thought this was molded in there, but this apple actually does come out, and I don't know if you're gonna really be able to see it. It is sculpted to look like an apple. You can see the bottom here. Like I said, it's very tough to pick up on this camera, but it is an apple, and it does fit nicely in his hand. Hopefully, I do not lose this, but that is a great accessory to have with him. I would like 2 apples, like one that was kind of chewed up that you can notice, or maybe a different head where he can look like he's spitting out. But I am very happy with this Carlito for his first Elite figure. Carlito obviously is one of the members of the current New Judgment Day. So here he is with some of the other figures. We have an Elite JD, we have the Elite Finn Balor, and the Ultimate Edition Dominic Mysterio. Saving CM Punk for last, we are going to take a look at all the accessories that are included. So you do get a set of the mic open holding hands with the black X's. You can see no drug-free on the fingers, unfortunately. He does come with these fisted hands here. Also, do not have the drug-free, and the tape is actually over his knuckles, which is really annoying. Look at that. Look at the difference between how the fisted hands look versus the actual mic open holding hands. I guess you can argue that he's making a fist pose, but come on, man. Every other CM Punk figure we've had the white drug-free, so that's definitely disappointing. We also do get the Nexus armband, which looks okay. We've seen this before. Mine isn't even printed on straight, but I guess I'm just nitpicking now. It's a little bit like on an angle. That'll definitely slide up over his arm once we get the shirt off. And while we're zoomed in, you can take a quick close look at that CM Punk Nexus shirt. Looks pretty good. Does Velcro on in the back. Let's go ahead and get this off the figure and continue on with this review. So here is the head sculpt for your CM Punk. This is the same head that we have seen with, say, the Elite 16 or even the most recent Defining Moments Ringside Club exclusive, but he does have the brownish looking hair, which I believe he did have at this time, right? I don't know. Let me take a look at the back of this box. I guess not. I guess it's black if you guys can't see that, but more of the brown hair. I guess, I don't know. Maybe they have a reason why they went with the brown versus the actual black hair, but you can see the tattoo detailing here. He does have the chest tattoo, the straight edge on the stomach. Obviously, no Cobra tats or Pepsi tats on the sides. You can see, I don't like how this is kind of like in a different position than what it usually is, but you can see the blues in there, the different coloration. It does have the obvious white elbow pad, or supposed to be arm tape. You can see the sleeve here. Taking a look at the other side. Also does have his tattoos over his shoulder. But looking on the gear, you get your Macho Man tribute gear. You get the 3 stars in the pink trunks here on the front. On the back, CM Punk. He does have these big yellow knee pads. The kickers do have the white outline here. I believe this is an old kick pad mold, it looks like, which we will run through articulation, but they do have the stars on the kickers. So aesthetically, it looks pretty nice. If you guys want to put the armband on, you can go ahead and do so. I wonder why they packed this on the side. I wonder if some of these possibly could rip or what, but it doesn't feel like the old, like, John Cena armbands that would always pop after a while. But that looks pretty good if you want to throw it on your figure. Articulation, let's get to it. The head will fully rotate looks up, not too much that far down. Arm goes around, no problem, goes in and out. You do have the bicep cut, the double jointed pinless elbows here. Hands do rotate and hinge. Ab crunch, a little loose, but not awful. Waist swivel is pretty tight. The other arm seems to move pretty well too. Here we go. This is what's been worrying me. A little stiff, a little bit. Let's see how they are when they go back. Man, that's just... probably needs to be heated, to be honest. It could be way worse. How's the leg articulation? He kicks up pretty good. You do have the thigh cut, the double jointed pin legs. There is the boot cut here. And this is the old kick pad articulation, which is annoying, man. Why didn't they update it to the new one? This leg kicks up, no issues either. Knees are pretty good. Again, boot cut. And again, the old articulation, which is pretty stiff. But this figure looks aesthetically okay. I do like the obvious Macho Man gear, but man, the hands without the drug-free and then the kind of like white paint going over it, I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. For your CM Punk comparison, so we have some of the new, more recent main event figures. Here on the left, we have the Chase version. I believe this is, what, 153? Correct me if I'm wrong. And we do have the new Showdown 2-pack that came with Randy Orton in the Bret Hart attire. I would love to see the Bret Hart tribute attire made into an Elite. Again, we have seen the Macho Man in a basic form, but here's a quick look at the main event figures and how they stack up size-wise versus this brand new Elite. Also, if you're curious to see this figure next to a Jazzwares Supreme CM Punk, you can see how much taller the Supreme is versus the Mattel Elite figure. And lastly, we have the famous Elite 16 CM Punk. I cannot wait for that new Ultimate Edition. It should be here relatively soon in this month. Look for that review on my channel. And then we also have the Ringside Collectibles Defining Moments Pipe Bomb CM Punk. You can see the head sculpt is similar. Different paint applications to it. And you can even see how this head looked on the Elite 16 figure versus the brand new Elite 113. If you guys have enjoyed this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and I will be able to create more great content for you guys here. Let me know all your thoughts on this brand new Elite 113 set. Will you be looking to add any to your collection? Also, don't forget to turn on those notification bells. Stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. Let's get to it. My personal take on these four figures. We're going to start with Kofi Kingston. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Kofi fan. I don't even think this is the best Kofi yet. The articulation on mine was a little stiff. I will say I really do love the new sneaker mold on these figures, so that'll be a big plus. I'm not a big fan of the head sculpt, but the attire does look really nice with the white and blue, so that will pop on your display shelf. Carlito, I actually really do like it. Simplistic gear, kind of white with a nice t-shirt. I love the head sculpt. I love the extra hand with the apple. A great Elite figure for Carlito's return. We'll look for some more Ruthless Aggression versions down the road. Dragon Lee is a nice figure. I'm not crazy about the rubber entrance coat. I love the mask. He looks really clean. Love the boot mold that they designed for him. I will say he may be a tad too tall for this figure as far as scaling. And CM Punk, not my favorite Punk. I was looking forward to it. Obviously, a big Macho Man fan. Crossover with a big CM Punk fan. So, I do like the attire. I like the shirt. The head sculpt is okay. I don't know why they went with the lighter brown. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not, but I would prefer the black. But you know what? You get something a little different. You will get those extra heads when you get your Ultimate Edition, so maybe you can swap on there if you prefer the black hair. Look, the biggest disappointment I'm going to say is the hands. I know the drug-free is not on either of them, but even the fists, man, they're just like the way the tape goes over it. I'm not really digging that. I don't know if this is like a cost-cutting thing. I don't know if it's a factory error thing with these Punks, but it's on the new Ultimate Edition and some of the newer Elites coming out, so I don't know what the deal is. It's just kind of confusing. It should be on there. No way, any way you slice it. I mean, that'll complete and make this figure pretty much close to perfect. But I do love the attire. The shirt is nice, and this will look nice with your other CM Punk figures. We're going to be getting a ton of Punks from Mattel, so just stay tuned for those releases coming up real soon. But if you are interested in grabbing any of these figures, they are now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. You guys shop this promo code FORLIFE to save 10% off your order. Before you go, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AlexWestCollects. Thank you so much for your continued support, and tune into this video review, and I'll catch you all on the next one.